Hello everyone, and welcome to this quick video covering 10 tips and tricks that I believe every Starfield player should know. Whether you're picking up the game for your first playthrough or have already logged dozens of hours, there should be something here to help you out. If you watched Kado's tips and tricks video, then you'll already know that you can hold down the aim button when using the cutter to enhance its mining laser and make you mine faster. What you may not have realised is that this also makes it an incredibly deadly early game weapon. It can melt anything you come across in the first few levels in seconds, and best of all, it actually staggers your foes a lot of the time, making one-on-one fights a guaranteed win. It is very short range, and won't be as powerful as what you pick up later on, but even in the late game I like to still use the cutter from time to time. If I'm going up against some particularly weak enemies and don't want to waste ammo, then this is the ideal solution, as it just recharges instead of expending valuable ammo. And as one final tip for the cutter, if you max out the laser skill, then it can also set people on fire. You're welcome. Scanning and surveying planets can be a great way to earn experience and a little money by selling the data, but it can also take a really long time. If a planet you land on has fauna or flora in large amounts, then it's going to take you quite a while to find and scan all of them. If the planet only has minerals, then it's much easier, as you just need to find one of each and scan them one time. You may also find these circles with little question marks in them on the side where it tells you need to scan. 9 out of 10 times these are nature markers. To find these, just open up your scanner, select any undiscovered markers you can see, and head to the ones marked natural. 9 out of 10 times, these will be things you need to scan. You know what's even easier than scanning a planet which just has minerals though? Scanning a gas giant. You can't land on the surface of gas giants, so all you need to do is travel to the space around them, scan from your ship, and voila! Planet fully scanned 100%. If you want some quick XP, then just jump around to all your local gas giants and cash in. If you want to make big money fast and aren't worried about being on the wrong side of the law, then smuggling might be the thing for you. The problem is, having any contraband on your ship can lead to you getting scanned when travelling to a city and having the guards come after you. But having contraband on your person or planet side doesn't bother them at all. If you pick up some contraband in Neon, rather than fly away with it, just head over to the trade authority and sell it all. If they've not got enough creds, then find a seat, wait 48 hours, and they will refresh and be able to afford more. As a bonus tip, you can also fly to the Den space station in the Wolf system to sell your contraband, as they won't scan your ship and also have a trade authority merchant on board. On to the most simple of tips on the list, boosting will prevent fall damage. If you have a boost pack and the first rank of boost pack training, then you've effectively just made it so that fall damage is no longer an issue. Jump from the highest height, and as long as you boost just before you'd hit the ground, you won't take any damage. Lovely stuff. Starfield has a slightly different sprinting system to the past couple of Bethesda games. When you sprint, or when you run while over encumbered, your O2 will be consumed. Slow down and it will gradually start replenishing. However, you can use up all your O2 and still keep going, but then you will start gaining CO2. Fill this bar and you will start taking damage if you don't slow down. Because of the danger inherent with the CO2 bar, you may wish to avoid using it entirely. But if you want to move as fast as possible, then you shouldn't do this. Instead, you always want to be pushing yourself into the red, and then stopping when it's about halfway full. When this happens, the CO2 will reduce, and the O2 will come back at the same time, meaning you're waiting for just as long for the bar to fill up, but sprinted for longer before you had to wait. And if you want to absolutely maximise the distance you're travelling without slowing down, then you're going to need to have a boost pack enabled. And before you hit the danger zone, do a sprinting jump into continuous boosts. This will keep you going at the same speed without using up any oxygen. Chain together boost jumping with sprinting, and on some planets with low gravity, you can keep at maximum speed for as long as you want. And if you happen to find another way to replenish your oxygen while out and about, well, that would just make things even easier, wouldn't it? When it comes to crafting and research, you're going to need to carry a lot of materials with you. Starfield isn't too generous with carry weight, so you'll quickly find yourself over encumbered. Fortunately, you don't actually need to carry those resources. You can just dump them in your ship's cargo hold. Resources stored in your ship can be used for crafting and research, no matter how far away from it you are. Ships have a much bigger carry capacity than you will, providing much more room for hoarding. They still do have a limit though, so I'd recommend only housing resources and ship parts in the cargo space. The cargo hold isn't the only bit of storage in a spaceship though. The best loot tends to be stored away in the captain's locker. When you're in the cockpit, take a look around for your yellow door safe inlaid on one of the walls. This will be the captain's locker. When looting other ships, this will typically house the best stuff, but your own ship should also come with this locker, providing you a little bit of extra space to hoard things. I personally like to keep spare weapons or aid items here that I want to use later but don't need right away. If you want to restore health without using up aid items or are looking to level up faster, then you're in luck. Bad Company Sarge is doing a 2-for-1 sale on that exact deal. Just sleep in a bed for any amount of time and your health will be fully restored, and you will also gain the well rested bonus, giving you 10% bonus experience for nearly half an hour. Apparently, if you've developed a romantic relationship with a member of Constellation, then the XP bonus will be even higher, but I don't have any footage of this, as all of my characters so far have been aggressively asexual. When it comes to looting, it can be easy to just pick up everything that looks pretty and hope for the best. But that will just lead to you being over-encumbered, and not even having much to show for it. Instead, you should be using the 1000 rule. The 1000 rule states that if you're looting an item just to sell it and make money, then the value of the item must be at least 1000 times the mass of the item. That's right, we're doing maths, and you can't stop me. As an example, a basic maelstrom typically weighs around 4 mass. It would need a value of at least 4000 in order to be worth picking up and selling. Its value is not that high, so it is not worth picking up to sell. However, this Synapse Alpha I came across has a mass of 0.1. It only needs a value of 100 to be worth grabbing to sell, and its value is over 5 times that, making it an incredible item for profit per pound purposes. Obviously, this is just the rule for looting things that you're planning on selling. If an item has a different type of worth to you, such as being a weapon you want to use or a resource you're gathering, then you don't need to worry about the weight. But when you're just grabbing stuff to sell, use the 1000 rule to make sure you're getting the most out of your carry capacity. And for my final tip, did you know that you can move those explosive barrels you see everywhere? By holding the interact button while looking at an object, you can pick it up and put it down somewhere else. You can also hold the reload button in order to throw it. This has a range of different uses, but my favourite by far is picking up any explosive, cryogenic or corrosive barrels and putting them where I suspect enemies will be. In theory, you can also pick them up, throw them at the enemy and then shoot them to detonate them, but I'd strongly recommend against picking them up in the middle of a firefight, as someone will almost certainly shoot them and give you a taste of your own medicine. Instead, treating them as makeshift mines and setting them up before the fight is the most effective way to use them that I've found. And there we have my 10 tips that every Starfield player should know. If there was something on there you weren't already aware of, then leave a like. Subscribe for more Starfield content in the future, and if you want to support the channel, then you can do so over at patreon.com/BADCompanySarge. My lovely patrons are who keep the channel going these days, so a huge thank you to them all. Comment below with any tips you have for other players, and as always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.